and welcome to the Unexpected List. With me, as always, is my contestant and my only contestant,
Sarah.
And the way this works is simple. I give Sarah a phrase or sentence, and she gives me the first 5 board games that come to mind. Now, I have decided that to make this fully unexpected, I will make her be very expected and tell her what the things were ahead of time. So I told her for this one is spring.
It is. I'm going to spring into action.
All right, we're back with Sarah's springy sprung list.
Yes, we're going growing. Things are warmer and growing in the spring. And you go outside more in the spring. Well, at least a lot of places you wouldn't want to go out that much in the winter.
That's true.
All right, so we're going to go with the top one here, herbaceous, because you grow
Herbs.
Herbs. Well, you can grow herbs at other times of the year.
You can grow things all year round.
That's true if you have a greenhouse. But for me, I just think about herbaceous because it's light. It's gameplay wise, it's light. It's airy. It's really a lot of fun. It's refreshing. And I associate a lot of those things with spring.
Okay.
So one of my favorite 4-player games, I recommend this almost any time to anyone. I just wish sometimes it could play more players. I think that's the only thing I ever wish for herbaceous.
Because it only goes up to 4.
Yeah, it only goes up to 4. And I mean, I've had great luck with this with casual gamers. My old group at lunch loved this game, but we often had 5 or 6 players, so we didn't get to play it as often. So if you have a 4-player or less group, because it's good at all player counts, we absolutely loved it at 2 players. I haven't actually played it as much at 3, but I've played it at 2 or 4 quite a lot.
Yeah, it trounced me.
Yeah, I am really good at it. But it's set collection, maybe I just...
And timing.
Timing, which is bizarre because a lot of timing games you're better at, but there's something about this one.
It's knowing how big the deck is, too.
That's right, and you can't always... well, you literally can't see it.
All right, number 2.
Point salad, again. Refreshing. Vegetables.
Salad.
Salad.
Points.
We're just throwing words out now. This is another one of my favorite games. It's a word pun because, yes, it doesn't really matter that it's about vegetables. It's about the play on words of point salad being a game that you can make points in many different ways, which is the joke about a lot of Euro-style strategy games, is you can get points everywhere, so it is a point salad. But yeah, I love that the Flat Out Games group, they just took that funny pun and just ran with it, and it's a fun, exciting game. And they've been making more games kind of in this vein of Point City, and I think Point Galaxy will be coming out soon-ish. So looking forward to it because each one has a different spin or twist on the double-sided cards, where one side is your scoring and the other side is the resource or thing that you need to meet the score. Yeah. So a lot of fun.
Number 3.
Lucky numbers, because clover, again, stuff grows in spring, and this has absolutely nothing to do with clovers, but it's a really fun number game where you're just trying to fill in this grid of numbers in a certain sequence, where your top left corner of your grid has to be smaller than the bottom right, but then everything to the right also then has to be bigger, and everything down has to be bigger, and this is just a really fast, fun game.
Yes, very addictive.
We played it first on Board Game Arena a lot with our iGame Night friends, and just kind of had to pick up a copy. In fact, they picked up 2 copies so they could play it with their game night group, so they could play it with up to, I don't think they ever have 8.
Right, but they can expand it 4 more players.
Right, because this game just needs more components, because it's not any more complex. I guess it would take a little bit more time.
You just need a set of numbers per player.
Right, and a board.
And a board.
So, lots of fun. Highly recommend. Check it out on Board Game Arena if you're not sure, but as you can see, there's very few games we play on Board Game Arena first and then buy the physical. And this is one that we bought the physical.
All right, next.
Verdant. Because more things grow in this, spring is...
When I tell Sarah certain things, she gets stuff stuck in her head.
Yes. Yeah, it does. And it's another game from Flat Out Games, which again, we really like the designs that group comes up with. And Verdant is a really great, how do you put it, adjacency scoring. So again, you've got different cards that are score cards versus plant cards. And you also are trying to get tokens on them. Wow, it has been a little while since we've played. Yeah, because you're trying to get tokens on them to get the plants to grow.
Yeah.
So, was it rooms?
Yeah, rooms.
That's rooms.
And then it needed certain sunlight.
Right. So, a bit more complex. I'd still call this more of a light medium weight game, but it has a spatial puzzle that actually works with my brain, because like there's certain spatial puzzles that
yeah, because you have to checkerboard things where there's plants versus the room's sunlight,
right.
and you want them in orientated close to certain things,
right,
to score more points.
Highly recommend Verdant.
All right, and your final one.
So finally, a game that's not about growing something, or yes, because in the spring you go to theme parks, because I mean most people won't go to one during the winter.
What if there was like skiing one?
Maybe
like ski land.
Maybe you go to you go to ski resorts. Dice theme park. So we have had a couple of different games about theme parks. This one, again, has a dice, what do you call it, spatial puzzle aspect that works well. So you've got these hexagonal tiles that are your different amusements, but you never get that many. You get like, I don't know, six
at the most?
I think maybe there's a possibility of getting 7. But yeah, it's like 6 or 7. And you've got the dice, which are your guests. And you're running them through these amusement things to earn points, mostly money. I guess it's money.
Yeah.
But it's that puzzle of, okay, I need to get this person to this one, then that one, and that one, because this one needs that color, that one needs that number, because it goes off of both color and number of the dice. And then you're trying to get, maybe you need 2 dice over at this one. And so you're running them through different things so that they're the right color and number when they get there.
Yeah, and then the dice numbers even change as they get used.
Right. When they go through it, their enjoyment is used,
They
and
spend
so
money
they
and
spend
time,
money and time,
energy.
and eventually they're done, because eventually you run out of money and energy. So then they leave.
Ran out of spoons.
They ran out of spoons, indeed. So Dice Theme Park is another one of those few spatial reasoning type games that just really sparks my brain and works really well with it. And I just absolutely love it. This is one that I did play on Board Game Arena first.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked well for me there, but I knew it wouldn't work well for you digitally. I think it would just be a little bit harder for you to grasp. So having the physical tiles in front of you, you're able to get it better in your head.
Yeah.
So there we go. These are the 5 games I thought of first. When you said spring, what would you add to the pile?
Well, if we're sticking with like growing stuff, there was a couple of and for whatever reason, I can't remember any of the names of these things.
Okay, we'll see what I can find later.
Okay, what was the game where you were growing trees? And it came in from different directions, and the shadow would prevent them from growing.
Yes, we played it on Board Game Arena.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope I can figure that out in the future. Hopefully there's a picture up here. Yeah, it's not coming to me.
It was a weird game because it did mention, it took into consideration how the light fell over different heights of stuff. Another one that came to my mind with growing is another one I have no idea the name of. I think it might have even won a spiel. It was the game where you use spirits and you were growing the trees, and you could go around the different spots. And if you passed somebody, you like took some of their stuff.
Yes.
And you have to deal with the fire that's in the center.
Again, another one of those we only played on Board Game Arena, which is why it's not sticking in your head, and I am blanking too. But I know I know how to find out those because I keep track of everything in the amazing app called Board Game Stats.
So thank you, Sarah Editor,
Who
for
has
showing the
picture of what this is and maybe even doing a little bit more. But yes, that one is a really fun game. But honestly, I'm not sure I'd want to play that one on the table.
Right. That one was a little messy because there was like 3 ways to possibly win.
Because
and
you
just
also had
tracking-
cards, because you had animal cards.
Yes, and you had to track all this stuff in your head.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot. So it really helped to have a digital implementation.
Yes.
One thing I was surprised you didn't bring up, but I could also imagine why, seasons.
I have brought up seasons in so many of these videos.
Yeah, which is why I figured
Yeah.
you didn't bring it up. And then the final thing that comes to mind, and I don't know why I'm not remembering it because we do have a physical copy, is the game where we make robots.
Raising robots?
Raising robots, thank you. Because
Wait.
the robots in there were
They have springs.
they were hobbled together with all sorts of junk and things, including springs and piggy banks and
True, I did not
freezers.
think about spring as in
An actual spring.
and mechanical springs.
I would think of a clock game, but I can't think of any clock games.
I know they exist, but I do not think we have any because most of them use a rondelle
Yes.
for the clock, and
just timing is hard
and
for you.
timing is a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, so these are our spring games. What comes to mind when you think of the word spring? Either mine or more like Will's or something else.
Like bed bugs. That was a terrible game.
Oh God, yeah.
It was just
Could you call that a game?
It was more of an activity where you had these giant tweezers and all these little plastic bed bugs and this vibrating monstrosity of bed.
God. That was,
was
terrible.
I bet the springs are shot on it.
Probably. Okay, so this has been the
Unexpected
Unexpected
List.
List.
If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach out to us on the various social media platforms at
Rolling with Two, that's TWO. We're on Blue Sky, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For Discord, we have a channel on Tabletop Express. Check the show notes for the invite link.
If you have time, check out the other content Nanaman has found for you, because remember, he's rolling with you.